Hi, I'm Rich from A1 Foundation Crack Repair, also known as the Crackman. I'm here with Peter Marshall from Marshall Insurance, and we've had a few jobs that were of interest through the insurance situation where a neighbor's tree had fallen on the subject property and has damaged the foundation. Peter, could you give us an idea of it's covered, not covered, and how much?
Absolutely. So the neighbor's tree falling on your house, it's covered under your policy.
So that's good.
Subject to your deductible. However, your neighbor's tree, if you're afraid that that tree, if you think it poses a threat to your house, if you think that it's dying or it's diseased or the branches are hanging over your house, you can actually go through your neighbor's insurance company if a claim occurs, and that way you don't get the claim on your record and you don't have to pay your deductible. The key, what you have to do is, I'll actually tell you via a story, because when you've been doing this as long as I have, you gain a lot of stories over the years. In the late 90s, I took on a new client, and she expressed to me, she said her neighbor's tree is really growing more and more over their house, and she was concerned that with snow or windstorm, that the branches or the tree itself may come right into her home. And she asked me, would that be covered under my insurance or theirs? Shouldn't it be theirs? So what I had told her at the time was, if you can prove that you notified your neighbor that their tree poses a threat to your property, send a certified letter. If down the road that tree does damage your property, you now have proof that you notified your neighbor, and if they don't if they don't remove the tree, they neglected to rectify the situation. When that tree falls, it's now going to go under the liability part of their homeowners. So it keeps it off of your claim record. You don't have to pay anything towards it. So 10 years later, in 2008, when we had that big ice storm,
Sure.
She called me around 7 o'clock in the morning. That tree fell into her house, into her bedroom where she and her husband were sleeping. Thankfully, they were fine, and she obviously saw it coming 10 years prior. And my first question, because I remembered our conversation, I said, Joanne, did you send that letter? Do you have the proof? And she did. So sure enough, her adjuster for her company, I spoke with him, the two of us then went after the neighbor's insurance company, and they paid every penny, nothing out of pocket for my customer, and she remains claims free to this day.
What a great story. So if you're afraid your neighbor's tree is going to fall on your house, do a certified letter to them, let them know that you're concerned about it, and if it does happen, the good news is you don't have to pay anything. This is Rich from A1 Foundation Crack Repair, known as the Crackman, and Peter Marshall from Marshall Insurance. Thanks for listening.